One more day until Ohio State and Oregon kick off in the Rose Bowl. Today's show, presented by 5-Star Fans. The thrill, the heartbreak, the pride. Being a fan is a wild ride. With 5-Star Fans, you can finally get in on the action like never before. Go to 5-starfans.com right now. Sign up. You can give $5 to your favorite Buckeye. Pretty good deal, Tim.
Yeah.
5-starfans.com right now. You can give $5 to your favorite Buckeye. Help them with the NIL front. Speaking of NIL, a lot of conversation about NIL, about big picture things. Dan Lanning, Ryan Day both wanted absolutely no part of it, Tim.
Of course not. They got a football game to play, and everybody knows if you were starting a list of top to bottom, schools that have their NIL stuff together, it would be Oregon, Ohio State, or Ohio State, Oregon, depending on how you would want to start it. I mean, they clearly both of these teams have benefited greatly from the NIL transfer portal scheme of things. When you look at Tez Johnson and Dylan Gabriel, for example, on Oregon, you look at Ohio State with their starting quarterback Will Howard, and right on down the line with the guys they picked up in the transfer portal, Caleb Downs. I would leave somebody out, but the bottom line is they both have their act together. It's not surprising that I think we thought at the beginning of the year these two teams could possibly play 3 times.
Yeah.
It's only going to be twice.
Yeah.
But the idea now that people think these are the two best teams left in the college football playoffs speaks to the fact of how Ohio State got its act together finally and asserted what we thought it could be about all year long with this roster and against Tennessee. So, there's so much more they're thinking about right now than the NIL transfer portal, but they should be giving thanks to it too.
Yeah, well, to be clear, battling a little bit of a throat thing here. So
I know. That's why I'm trying to stay clear.
Yeah, if I sound a little raspy, I apologize, but we're Jordan flu gaming this thing. It's the Rose Bowl. I'm not going to sit at home. Tim, I wanted to talk to you about.
That's what Typhoid Mary said, by the way.
I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Ryan Day and the laser focus on the task at hand here. He was asked about a couple different things, deflected questions.
Well, I asked him about, did that big win over Tennessee relieve some pressure? Because we all know what was going on in and around the Ohio State football program, mainly outside the football program after that loss, 4th straight loss to Michigan. And he basically, in essence, said they have concentrated on the process.
Correct.
Of getting ready for another game. But there is no way he and his family, especially, and the coaching staff, didn't feel some relief from that lopsided victory over the so-called third best team in the Southeastern Conference, and from a standpoint of longevity and everything else.
Yeah, and that was a good answer there. Again, he deflected a lot of things. I wanted to focus on one thing. It might be weird. Steve Hellwagon, Bucknuts 24/7, asked a very fair question to Ryan Day about limiting explosive plays. And Dan Lanning is usually the jokester of the press conference. He likes to crack a couple of jokes at the medium. Ryan Day does not do any of that.
No.
It's not his style.
No.
But Ryan Day...
He could, but it's not his style.
Ryan Day took the opportunity.
Yeah.
He said, Steve, do you want me to hand him the playbook right now? And again, I'm not making fun of Steve at all. I would tell him that this is in our video.
Oh, no, but it was
good
question.
I thought it was a good question, but also it was a good time for Ryan Day to show people, and maybe I'm reading too much into this, but like, hey, we're loose. We're ready for this thing.
Yeah.
And that was, in all honesty, maybe the most insightful thing that I heard today.
Yeah.
Because we get a lot of big picture stuff in there. It's whatever. It's the day before the game press conference. They're never going to say a lot. The fact that Ryan Day is kind of feeling a little loose, a little
human being.
Yeah. Willing to do that.
Yeah.
Where he's not normally. I think that's a good thing for Ohio State.
Yeah. I mean, we all try to,
psychoanalyze.
I've always looked at football and covering football. I mean, it's serious stuff for everybody involved, but the flip side of it is a game.
Yeah.
It's played by, as Ryan Day pointed out, as much as people want to talk about us, meaning the coaches and stuff, it's all about the players. I mean, the players make the plays. You draw up the plays, you call the plays, but the players, like I did a story before the Tennessee game talking about with Will Howard, talking about when you're the quarterback, finally the ball is in your hands.
Yeah.
And whatever happens from then on, it's up to you no matter what the play call was.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the point Ryan made at one point in his press conference is, as much as everybody wants to blow up the coaches and stuff and, what pressure they're under and all that kind of stuff. The bottom line is it's all about the players.
Yeah.
And he pointed that out too. Of course they've they already did the work.
The work's done.
On eliminating. No, they already did the work on eliminating the big plays. Because how many chunk plays have they given up since the Oregon game?
Very few.
You can count them on one hand, I do believe. And that, they went to work on that on the airplane ride home from Eugene, and with the changes they made on defense. That's where Ryan Day rolled up his sleeves and got in there with Jim Knowles and had some heart-to-heart conversations with Jim Knowles. Maybe some, hard conversations with Jim Knowles. And I'm sure the conversation was back and forth. Exactly.
James Laurinaitis and Tim Walton and Matt Carreri.
Maybe we're making it too complex, et cetera, because these players have all, to a man, talked about how more simple the defensive game plan is. That doesn't mean it's elementary school.
Hey, simple for them.
Exactly, but people know their roles and where they're supposed to be. And I mean, really. One glaring example was the way they started putting a safety over the top on almost every play, which they didn't do against Oregon, and cost them big time. Because cornerbacks, I did a story on Denzel Burke, about this big rematch for him. But cornerbacks are at every level are going to give up big plays, but you got to have somebody there as a stopgap. So that's one of the things you saw change since then.
Yeah, and as we move forward here, Dan Lanning also spoke. Look, man. I get it, why people like Dan Lanning. Sits up there at the press conference. He's got a smile on his face most of the time.
He's got a perpetual smile. He's a guy born like a Cheshire cat.
It's almost wily, if you will. Like that guy's up to something.
Yeah.
And,
And we saw in the last 30 seconds of that game, on October the 12th, he was up to something.
That's what I'm saying. He always seems to be up to something. And, it's not that you can't trust him, but it's like that smile just like, I don't know about that guy. He's got a little wild streak to him. Just an interesting little note
Sneaky.
there. We don't get to see him very often. We don't get to talk to him very often. Big Ten Media Days, and then here, I guess.
It's like he knows a joke's coming, and he's the only one that knows it.
Well, I think you're the king of that.
Yeah.
So,
but anyway,
it's interesting to me that those two coaches are at the forefront of the Big Ten right now. They're obviously the two best teams in the Big Ten. And, Penn State got to the Big Ten championship game, but Ohio State beat Penn State. So I would say that these are two of the two best teams in the Big Ten. They all it sucks that they have to meet here.
Yes.
I will say that.
Yeah.
Because
you would
hope that they would get to meet further.
I don't know if I would agree two best teams, only because Penn State didn't have that upset. They didn't lose an upset.
That's true.
This year. Ohio State did.
Yeah.
And you know what? It finally comes down to W&L. And what did you do? Penn State didn't have that game.
That's fair.
Oregon almost had a couple of them. I mean, Boise State to begin the year with. And
Ohio State.
And then Ohio State, and
Wisconsin.
then also Wisconsin. I mean, Wisconsin was in the game with them.
Oh yeah, they had a chance to win.
Exactly. So, Penn State may have found something. I guess we're finding out as we're videoing this. By the time people watch this, maybe that Penn State game will already be started.
Yeah, I mean, it's at 4:30 West Coast time. I'll tell you what, the time difference here has been bananas. We've got football on at 9:30 in the morning. I don't know what to do with myself with that. Maybe that's part of the reason why my throat feels the way it does. But
I think I would like that.
Yeah,
Living out here, that aspect of it, not the traffic. Me and a buddy of mine went down to Laguna Beach last night. I'd never been to Laguna Beach. Been to Newport Beach a few times, but God, what a beautiful. But the traffic was stupid. I'll leave it at that.
Let's do it here because there's not a lot that we learned from Ryan Day and Dan Lanning. I just wanted to get some final thoughts out there.
Yeah.
LA, what have you've been out here a lot. I haven't. This is my first time out here. Nicole Sheeran from 10 TV gave me a brilliant recommendation at a little breakfast joint called Martha's in Hermosa Beach. We went out there.
Yeah. She grew up in Manhattan Beach.
Yeah. Pat Murphy and Caroline Rice and I went to breakfast there. It was delicious.
You went to breakfast there or when?
Oh, yeah. Went the day that we got here, the 29th.
Oh, okay, cool.
It was great.
Because we didn't have anything until 6 o'clock.
Yeah, it's been a little chilly in LA, I will admit. Not what really
overcast.
I expected. Really gloomy. Overcast. Yeah, pretty gloomy. But the good news, Tim, is tomorrow's going to be 75 degrees and sunny, and the sun will set over the San Gabriel Mountains, and tears will come out of my eyes.
Yeah. So, yeah. I should be sitting next to you in the press box, so we'll see how that goes. I will try to bring some Kleenex. Actually, the sun sets over to your left, and it hits the San Gabriel Mountains.
Okay.
And
see, I don't know what I'm doing here.
It's cooler. Like even Justin Fry was talking about that yesterday. You can't make this stuff up.
Yeah, Ryan Day and Dan Lanning both, kind of took a second to realize, like, hey, we're playing in the Rose Bowl. And This is Ryan Day's third.
I thought Ryan Day hit the mark, man, when he said the grass seems greener, the sun seems more yellow,
the sky seems
the
bluer.
sky seems more blue. He is exactly right. If you ever get down to beyond around the field, it's like you're on the best. It's like you're on the best fairway in America.
Well, I brought my 7-iron. So.
And some of the courses I play, best green in America. but the bottom line, it's a setting like no other. And it's the granddaddy because it's the oldest, but it's also the granddaddy because it's the coolest. And so it's cool, that setting. But like Ryan said, once toe meets leather, man, it's a total different exercise for the coaches and players.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome.
But with those 3-minute TV timeouts, they'll have time to look around.
Oh yeah. Tim May, the 41-year vet, Spencer Holbrook. We're continuing our coverage.
Let's throw one more thing out there. Who has, as you look at it, who truly has the advantage at quarterback in this game?
I haven't told him that we're doing this. We're filming another video.
Oh, okay.
And that's one of the questions I was going to ask.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. We're doing another one of these. We're continued coverage. Lettermen Row, live from the Rose Bowl. Not really live, I guess.
That was a tease. I kind of figured we were going to do it.
There you go. We got another video. Of course, we have to do bold predictions. It's the day before the game. That's Tim May, the 41-year vet. I'm just Spencer Holbrook. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'm going to keep powering through, get some lozenges in this. We'll see what goes on. Rose Bowl tomorrow. Can't wait. It's going to be awesome. We'll see you guys over there.